I'm starting to like Noah throwing hands at any
I like it.
because he threw hands at Harrison last year at Kentucky. He ain't scared.
Well, that's the thing. If you're going to talk like he does, if you're going to have that mouth, you got to back it up. Regardless of, people love him or hate him. It's good. To me, that's good for the sport because it's got you talking about it.
Here's my last point on Noah. If Earnhardt would have done that 30 years ago, we'd be playing it on a loop, and people would have tattoos of him wound up on their chest, and they'd be like, oh, my God, Earnhardt's such a badass. Did you see him throw that punch?
Well, I'm kind of in the minority here of opinion because let's rewind the context of why these two were mad at each other. So it all started, the 18 entered pit road in front of the 9. The 18 was pitted behind the 9, right? So directly in front of him, it goes the 9 pit box. Behind him is the 18 pit box. Now, it is almost becoming a habit for Daniel Hemric to make a mistake on pit road, whether he runs over Jack Man like he did in the truck or hit his tire carrier like he did somewhere else earlier this year. Like, Hemric, I love you. Get it in the box, nice and straight, foot on the brake.
Brake pedals in the middle.
But he slides through his box into the 9's box, and now the 9's right behind him trying to get in his, and he had both right sides out of the box, couldn't pit it.
Yeah.
So now he's got the 18 backs up. Now the 9 has to do like a 19-point turn to get his right front in the box. And he did. I honestly don't think if it was somebody else, you could almost chalk it up like, maybe he didn't do it on purpose. But like Noah being Noah, he's probably like, let me just back into this guy.
Well, he flipped him off too.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Like simultaneously?
Not when he was backing up, but when Hemric went through, like it was almost like Gragson was looking out the window and he was just like,
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Okay, so I didn't know that. So maybe it was on purpose, but he backed into the right front of Hemric's car while the guys are working on it. You can chalk that up as endangering the pit crew if you wanted to. I know that there's, half on one side, like throw the book at him because he's putting these guys in harm's way.
Well, Gregson's pit crew was in harm's way when Hemric ran through the box.
Fair enough, right? So, like, I personally don't lay a whole lot of blame of the incident on Noah Gragson because Noah got it back in the box, and then I think Daniel was just fired up that Noah put either
a hole in the nose
and endangered his pit crew. So he felt like it was worthy enough to get shoved. And I am under my opinion, the way I processed that event, I think it wasn't warranted. I honestly don't think it was warranted.
What, the going over and swinging?
Yeah.
I'm glad they did it because we have a full show.
Because Hemric missed the box to start with. If he had just gotten the box, there would have been no quarrel.
Well, let me ask you this. So with that, right, so you're in the car. You don't necessarily have all the information. You couldn't see that, Gragson, you couldn't see the whole video of Gragson going in and then backing up, right? So
Hemric also saw Gragson flip him off, too.
Right. So if you're sitting in the car and you see that, in the moment, in the heat of the moment, what would your reaction be if you see somebody back up, almost hit your pit crew guy, and then flip you off?
I'd be mad, too.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that, like when you're given that information and he pretty much hops out, runs over there's no time to look at go look at the data from the pit boxes to see that, okay, so maybe he just misjudged how much he backed up.
Well, what did the spotter, I mean, I haven't heard the radio, but did the spotter and the crew chief for Hemric, were they riling him up, during that incident? Oh, go whip his ass after the race, that kind of thing?
I didn't watch it. I was dirt racing on Saturday. We could talk about that here in a little bit.
Kick his ass, Seabass.